All my little insecure overachievers, listen up. This one is for you. I feel like I've been having this conversation on repeat with a lot of my clients, whom I love and are amazing humans and doing fabulous things. But if you're struggling to know if you're doing a good job or not, and you work in an environment where you don't get a lot of feedback, listen up, because most likely your approach thus far has been to do more and work harder trying to seek that good job, that approval, that validation. But that is just a trap for burnout. If you're feeling nervous and anxious and feeling a lot of anxiety because you're not sure on what your work thinks about you, there's nothing wrong with you, but what that's telling me is you are not managing your brain. And that is your number one job. Your brain is the biggest asset. It's the most valuable tool you have. You will never be given anything more beneficial than the brain that you already have today. It is your job to exercise it, to manage it, to talk to it, to take care of it, to understand how it works, to set it up for success. Many of our brains work a little different based on a lot of different things, but your number one job is to be managing your brain. If not, your anxiety, your worry, your anxiousness, your frustration, your resentment, your nervousness, your inability to turn off your brain from work, none of that will change. No amount of talking about it, no amount of tools, no amount of classes, no amount of sabbaticals can fix that. Until you start doing something about it, it will continue to spiral. Your brain by design is built to look for what's dangerous and bad. So if you aren't managing it, it's just going to keep getting louder and louder and scarier and tell you all the horrible things going on and why you aren't good at your job and why you should be worried you're going to get fired or laid off. Because your brain lies to you all the time. Not because it's trying to be mean, it's trying to help and protect you, but your brain and your body do not understand the difference between a perceived threat and a real threat. This is why I don't like to watch horror and scary movies. My body doesn't understand that this is just a movie. My brain gets it, but my palms get all clammy and I get all sweaty and I get a stomach ache and I get nervous and I get anxious. I do not love that feeling, so I choose not to watch those kinds of movies. Other people love it. I don't like to go to a haunted house where a guy's going to chase me around with a fake chainsaw. I don't like that. I know cognitively this is all pretend. I'm safe. I paid to get into this. It's a fun game, but my brain and my body in the moment don't understand that. And I go into that hyper fight, flight, or freeze mode, and I don't enjoy it. Some people do, which is great. That's why I say your brain does not understand the difference between hypothetical danger and real danger. It just knows there's danger and it sends danger signals to your body and your body acts accordingly. Beautiful. So if you are not managing your brain, listen up. Number one, you need to hire a coach to help you do that. I'm happy to help you. There's thousands of other people out there, but if you don't have a routine that's just as healthy and just as constant as you have to take care of your body, to take care of your brain, you will continue to struggle. There's so many options out there. Find one, get some help. Okay, so I want to teach you a tool to manage your brain in this scenario of when you're spinning and worried, am I doing a good enough job? Okay, step number one, remember your brain doesn't understand the difference between perceived danger and real danger. You got to go and you got to separate out the data versus the drama. The other thing to keep in mind with your brain, it lies to you all the time to the point where it would rather be right than feel good. So if your brain's job is to point out to you what could potentially be wrong and dangerous and bad, it's trying to validate itself and prove itself. So if you don't have the tools to manage it, if you're worried that you're going to get fired or put on a performance improvement plan or laid off because of poor performance, your brain will find evidence to support that. Whether it's true evidence or not, that's a different story. So that's why I say you want to start by separating out what's the data from the drama. Most of the large companies that are big and successful and move fast, most companies don't give their employees a lot of direct, constant, weekly feedback, good or bad. And the faster the company is, the bigger it is, the more complex it is. In my experience and what I've heard from my clients, the less positive feedback you get as well. So you're not getting grades that you can check in online at how you're doing performance-wise. You can ask people how you're doing, but they may not even tell you the truth. They may give you some vague feedback. But when you're not getting something concrete that your brain can believe, tells you and validates that I'm doing a good job, your brain goes to work to tell you this is dangerous because it believes silence or no feedback is bad. And that's what it's going to prove to you. So again, what I'm going to teach you is going to help you manage your brain. But if you're not managing your brain, you will continue to spiral and struggle with this. Okay, so we're going to separate out the data from the drama. Quick interruption. If you're listening to this thinking, I'll figure this out later, that's exactly why you're still stuck. You've been telling yourself after this project or once things calm down for how long now? 6 months, a year, 2? Every week you wait is another week watching less qualified people get promoted and move on while you stay exhausted and undervalued. The brutal truth? Nothing changes if nothing changes, and no one is coming to save you. It's your job to make the change. My coaching program gives you the exact tools to break this cycle in weeks, not years. You can even try it out for free. The link is in the description below. Because if you don't take action now, when will you? Next year when you're even more burned out, or when you're in a bad spot and have to find a new job? I hope not. You deserve better. Now back to the podcast. And I want you to look for the nonverbal cues. If you want to know how you are doing, how you're performing, and you're not getting a lot of direct or helpful feedback, what are the nonverbal clues telling you? Is your manager not showing up to your one-on-one because they're avoiding you and they try not to talk to you and try not to engage with you and brush you off at every expense possible? Or are they not showing up to your one-on-one because they're letting you do your thing because you're good at what you're doing and you just keep going and they have some bigger fires to put out? Okay. Which one? If you're not managing your brain is going to tell you they're avoiding you and this is bad. And then what happens is you turn into that guy and you go and you start talking to your coworkers and be like, do you think this is what it means? Are they not showing up to your one-on-ones as well? Like you get graspy and a little bit crazy and eventually your coworkers are like, dude, chill out. It's fine. Just do your job. Don't worry about it. They don't show up to anyone's one-on-ones. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but if that's what's happening, manage your brain about it, okay? Look for the nonverbal cues. Why are they not showing up? Are leaders asking for your strategic help or strategic input? Are team members asking for your help? These are signs that you're doing a good job. They're seeking your opinion. They value your opinion. They want your opinion. They're listening to your opinion. Are people asking you to cover for them in a meeting and fill them in? Do they trust you enough to know that you're going to go and represent them or the team and share back the information needed? That's a good sign. People that aren't good employees don't get asked to do things like that. Do they have minimal feedback and questions on your status updates? You can make that mean that they don't care and they're not listening, or you could make that mean that you're doing a good job and they don't have a lot of questions and they trust that you're going to keep doing it. Do they throw random projects your way without much follow-up or detail or insight? I hate when they do this, but as a manager, we don't give projects like that to people that we don't trust and we don't think are going to be able to figure it out and aren't doing a good job. What I have seen with my clients and myself is if there is a problem, you will very clearly know it. There will be clear signs and clear indicators. If there's not a problem, it's not as clear and you might wonder, but if there is a problem, there's no question. So I just like to tell myself, if there's a problem, I will know. And if I don't know there's a problem, I am assuming good intent. This is how I manage my brain through situations where I'm not getting a lot of feedback. I decide for myself what is my feedback. How do I think I'm doing? And I err on the side of believing I'm doing a good job. I'm winning. Not because I'm awesome at all of it, not because I am doing a good job at all of it, but I'm very critical of myself. I'm very hyper aware of where I'm not doing a good job. But the more I believe I'm doing a good job, this is working out, the more I'm able to keep my brain focused on the task at hand and the projects and do the work and do a good job at my job, because the less time I have to spend validating myself and making myself feel safe to put myself out there and do the work. I don't have to spend time in the morning convincing myself I can do this and giving myself a pep talk. I'm not wasting time talking to my coworkers about if they think I'm doing a good job or not. I'm just doing my work so that then I can go home and not do my work and take a break and be rested and come back and do my work the next day. You need to decide for yourself how you think you're doing and course correct if needs be, but err on the side of believing you're doing great. If not, they will let you know. Your goal is to show up calm, focused, curious, driven, and to do the work. Because no matter what happens, if that's how you feel about yourself, you are setting yourself up for success. Let's say that's what you believed and you did get fired. Okay, getting fired sucks. It's not fun. But if you think you do a good job, if you think you have skills that you can bring to the table and you have examples to back that up, and for whatever reason this company chooses to let you go, now when you get fired because you like yourself, maybe we fell down and we scraped our knees and it hurts and we might need to take a break for a minute, but we didn't fall down and break a bone. We can pick ourselves up so much faster to figure out the one next step. I don't remember a ton from my childhood, but one of my memories that stuck with me, and I don't know why, is I remember vividly, I was in, I think, 3rd or 4th grade, and I have older siblings and their friends were always so cool, and I always wanted to hang out with them. And I remember so many of them were hilarious and funny and these fun, nice kids that I wanted to be like. And I remember the day I noticed multiple of them were very funny people, but some of them had what I would call put down humor. They would make fun of people or make fun of themselves. And it was always kind of humor in a negative way. And it was funny, but it was on the negative side. And my older sister had a friend, Kristen Rudy. I still remember her to this day. I don't even know if she's still friends with her. And I just thought she was hilarious, but she did it in a positive way. And it wasn't a put down with a smile. She genuinely was funny while she was lifting people up, while she was lifting herself up. And I just remember in that moment thinking, I want that. I want that kind of humor. I want to make people laugh, but because we're doing it in positive, healthy ways, not because we're picking things apart. The other thing you may or may not know about me is I love a good grandma craft. I make felt flowers. It's kind of my weird random hobby and I love it. So I made this sign that hangs in my office. That's one of my most favorite phrases. Let me show it to you real fast. It's kind of this large felt flower tacky sign that says, I just awesomed all over the place. This is one of my most favorite phrases, and I say it to myself all the time. It's a little bit irreverent, a little bit funny, but it's not put down humor. I'm like, yes, I just awesomed all over the place. And sometimes my awesomeness is a hot mess, but usually there's a lot of goodness in it. This is one of the ways I manage my brain. I'm constantly telling myself, I just awesomed all over the place. When I'm done recording this podcast, do you know what I'm going to tell myself? I just awesomed all over the place. When I get done with a client call, you know what I'm going to tell myself? I just awesomed all over the place. When I go to bed tonight after making dinner and hanging out with my kids, I'm going to tell myself, I just awesomed all over the place. That thought helps me talk to my brain and manage my brain and has it go to work and start looking for, where am I being awesome? Where am I doing well? Where else could I be awesome? Where else could I be helpful? Because when that's where I'm managing my brain, where that's where my headspace is in, I'm able to keep showing up and doing more. Instead of needing to stop and think and feel and process my emotions and heal myself before I can go and put myself out there. No, when I like me, the goods and the bads, and I decide no matter what some other company rates me, no matter how my manager is feeling about me, no matter what someone else's opinion is of me, if I like me and I'm working on improving me while I like me, that is the fast track to being able to help even more people. So no matter what people are or are not telling you about how you're doing at work, decide for yourself and decide on purpose. Go and manage your brain. If not, you will keep spinning in doom and gloom and become that person. There are jobs out there. There are good companies out there. There are good leaders out there. Maybe you're not in a situation where you have that right now. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. That doesn't mean you're stuck and don't have any options. What it means is you got to learn how to manage your brain so that you can take the action, so that you can show up to get that situation that you ultimately want and deserve. So if you're not sure how you're doing at work, I'm here to give you your performance review and let you know you're doing awesome. Go awesome all over the place. All right, y'all, you got this. We'll talk soon.